Hi, this is Marilyn Crump, expert dream catcher, business coach, and mentor, and creator of the Dream Success Strategy. The Dream Success Strategy are principles in order to help you shift your mindset into abundance and achieve the dreams that you desire. My goal in life is to give you the different tools and help explain things so that it's easy to understand and that you can carry it through in your life to achieve what you want. Pretty simple, but there's a lot of work in store. First, I want to tell you what happens in life when you don't have these principles. And I will also tell you how to actually transition and leap into the new mindset. So let's begin. My life in particular, I lived, a decent life. I was a good person and still am a good person, but I was trying to be happy. I was doing what I thought were positive things. Yet I found myself going through life's ups and downs, and really trying to do things that I thought would work, and then they would not work. Or sometimes they would work, but then it wasn't consistent. And what was upsetting is sometimes you have a really good win just to be followed by a negative loss. And then you have people around you, like friends over here, let's say, that are looking like they can achieve everything that they want. Life keeps getting better for them. They're happy, even if they have a minor setback. It's very small, and then they get through it, and then there they go again. They're succeeding in life and frolicking. And then here you are going, what's wrong with me? How come there's this divide? How come I'm not achieving what they're achieving? How come I'm not as happy as they are? I work hard. I do the right things. I try to follow all the rules, and if there's something I don't know, I try to seek it out, but yet, how come I'm left struggling while they're enjoying their life? And it took me a long time to realize that it's not the actions that I do, but it's the mindset and the virtues that I hold in my heart and the process that's involved in a successful goal. I was fortunate enough to be mentored by my husband when we were dating, and he was telling me some really great things, also confusing things like watch your thoughts and really be clear about what you want, and you can have whatever you want as long as you think positive. I thought at first that he was going to get me to join some kind of cult. I was like, okay, I'm not really sure what you're talking about here, but you seem to be very nice, and maybe I can understand what you're talking about, but please be patient and explain it to me. So he did, and that really created new shifts in my life, and then I was able to achieve amazing things, and things that now I look back, I'm so grateful that that happened in my life, and now here I am paying it forward. So let's not live like this anymore. Okay, so let me help you bridge that distance from this kind of up and down existence to what I call the dream success strategy, where you start here and there might be, setbacks here and there, but you're always progressing upwards. Okay, so here's that bottom line. Normal people bounce on and off from it, but the people who know the dream success strategy, they just keep rising up to the top. So how do we do that? Well, first, there is going to be a gap between what you do know and what the dream sequence stands for. So let's push that to the side for a minute. Let's not even talk about the dream sequence. Let's talk about the leap sequence, the action steps before you can bridge your knowledge into that scenario. So what happens? Okay, you find out that there is a better way. And then you find out that it's going to take some time and work in order for you to build yourself up to jump off to that next point. And why is it a jump? Why is it like not a do, I'm here? Okay? Because there is a rip through your basic understanding, and you have to really fit into this narrow path. And then what you have to get rid of is all these different doubts, okay? The negativity, and just really like the mindset, what some people call the paradigms that you're used to, okay? So some things that you're used to is this: I can't control my life. Positive things only happen, and I just have to accept when they happen. I don't create the positive path. And some of the understanding that I had was, how do I control my thinking And how do I live in that new mindset when there's other negative people, kind of causing more blocks in my life? So how do I do that? So first, I tell people you have to get rid of doubts. Okay? So you have to say that you will no longer say, well, I doubt that kind of stuff works, or I doubt I can do anything like that. I doubt that, my future is going to be any better than it is right now. So that's the first stuff you got to get rid of. Get rid of the doubts. So once you get rid of the doubts, you have to start building up confidence. Because in this path, there's not a lot of people on it. And some people might be confused about what you're trying to do, and they might not believe in the things that you're first learning about. So you're going to have to feel like, okay, I have to defend what I do, because in that emotional state, you're still revving through a lot of crazy emotions, right? And in that new pathway, it's not emotion driven, if that makes sense. It's emotion fueled, but it's not emotion driven. When you're here in the leap sequence, you're still emotionally driven. Most of the time you're saying, I don't want any more of these failures. I might be up one day, but these failures are tough. And I really am tired of going through them over and over again. I'm done learning the lesson. I get it. That doesn't feel good. So then when you build up your confidence, then you're allowing yourself to have a little bit more mental clarity. So part of the new transition in the next sequence on the leap chart, you are first, getting rid of doubt. Then it's going to be the things that you allow in your brain and out of your mouth. Okay, so you have to start dieting what thoughts are coming in and out. And what you expose yourself to is going to become very important. So start reading books that talk about this type of subject, that talk about positivity and mindset. Reread your Bible and really figure out where it is that God is trying to lead you towards. And be careful what you let out of your mouth, because that solidifies your heart. Okay, so if you keep saying, I can't do that, or I don't know how to do that, these are all negative statements that start kind of digging us into that lifestyle. So we got to get rid of that. We have to say, let me be positive. Let me watch the words that come out of my mouth. Let me be accepting of new ideas and thoughts and perspectives. Have discussions. Discussions are healthy. You're allowed to be confused. You're allowed to say, at this moment, I'm not quite getting it. Are you able to explain that to me a little bit better? And then you have to say, my heart and my mind is open to receiving. So then you learn about gratitude. Gratitude is so freeing. You're becoming thankful for every little thing that happens. You say, okay, things that happen aren't here to harm me. They're here to better me. And they're here to wake me up, or I spoke about this earlier today, they're there to poke me. Okay, like poke me into where I should be going, like little, hot rods, or they're telling you go this way instead of that way. Okay, this stuff is not good, this stuff's better, so follow that path. And so you have to be willing to accept the little bits of negative things that start happening and testing you to see if your gratitude is going to stay in place. That you can say, I'm thankful that that phone call went sour. I'm thankful that I didn't get that job. I'm beginning to realize that maybe there's something better, that I'm going to be open to that. So you're working on your gratitude. And so you have your confidence, your courage. You have like the discernment that's starting to flow from what you bring into your head and what you leave out of your mouth. And then you have the gratitude that you're layering on top. Then you're kind of saying, okay, now I'm getting to the peak. And that's the moment where, okay, I think I'm ready to leap. So I tell people, when you make that leap, it has to be very clear. You have to say, okay, it's right now. And I'm no longer going to do those things ever again. Or at least think that. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm super perfect, I don't do anything wrong. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you're choosing a new perspective, that you no longer want to think in the way that you used to think. You've shifted your mindset. So when it comes to a scenario, let's say you want to go for something big and you've worked your way up to this like I'm going to jump off. I'm going to try that new career. I'm going to do that new business. I'm going to work on that new relationship. When you leap, then if you know the sequence, then you're leaping towards something right. What happens is if you don't know the sequence, okay, you've built up this understanding, you have gratitude, and this is where I see a lot of people, they go, well, I've studied those books. I've studied those law of attraction books. I've studied those goals. I've, talked about manifesting. I'm watching what I say. I'm like listening to the right things. But yet, whenever I leap, I kind of feel like I'm starting over. So what happens in that divide, if you don't leap onto the right thing, I mean, nothing bad happens. What happens is you kind of just have to begin again, and you find that you're in this cycle, okay? I'm a positive thinker. I know all the buzzwords. I say things like abundance and manifest, but then none of that really occurs for me. But yet I'm still going to try to fake it till I make it. I'm telling you, stop faking it. Get to that next progression, which is the dream success strategy. But we'll talk more about that later. Hopefully that starts making sense, okay? That doing like this is much better than up and down. So like if you leap and then you're not quite yet ready or don't have the knowledge for the next portion, it's okay. At least you're finding like the highs tend to get to be a little bit longer of a string. And when you start over again, you just know how to get back up. That's good. But it's not this like crazy up and down anymore. Because then you're kind of used to doing that, right? You will then feel a little bit more confident when you go into the dream success strategy. Let me know if that is clear. If it's not clear, definitely join in some discussions. We have free power talks. We have our retreats. We also have our community where this is life for us, okay? Like it's like bread every day. Like this is where we study and create like-minded experiences so that we can hold each other accountable and also encourage each other. And that is in the DSSC, which is the Dream Success Strategy Community. So hopefully you find this message helpful, and I'll talk to you soon.